What's going on, good people? This is yours truly, Easy D's, and one third of the contingent for the Holla at Me crew. I'm tripping actually the Chop Shop crew. I'm all over the place, and I can't think straight because Ruff got me here last.
Discombobulated.
Yeah, discombobulated.
That's
So
how we're going to start off not being accountable, right?
No, we good. Listen, I don't want no trouble, so let me just do
This
real
is definitely
quick.
an accountability show, though, D.
Yeah,
This is
right.
definitely
So,
an accountability
That's my
show.
first file then, Torre. My first file, I got one. Let's go to the zone. I want to play man. My man killing me. So to my immediate left, man, is the one and only Dave City's finest, my man, Walt Dizzle. What's happening with you, bro?
Gang.
Okay. And to our far left, the one Greg Dawes, a.k.a. Ruff. Ruff, how you feeling tonight, young man?
Yeah, I feel my hands like I always do, just a little bit angrier.
Okay. With that being said, the man in the middle between my man Dave City and Ruff, actually, I've been knowing, man, for about a good 15, 20 years. He done a lot of good stuff in the city, man, and used to be one of the top promoters in the area. Switched his game up. Now we trapping credit. Right. So with that being said, we're going to introduce Q, the credit guru, hanging out with Chop Shop. What's going on, bro? How you feeling, man?
What's good, y'all, man? I appreciate y'all having me here, man. I appreciate it for real.
Hey, appreciate you coming, man.
Definitely, man. But I want to get into what got you into the credit game, because me and Ruff talk about this a lot, the importance of credit.
Hey, I want to hold on. Everybody get your crowns out, get your pens, your pads out. You got the man
Yeah, that's
here.
a free game here tonight.
Hey,
So,
by
yeah.
the way,
Definitely.
it's that time of the year, so you're going to have a little money, so we don't want to hear no excuses for getting it right.
Yeah.
That money ain't for that. Yeah, that money ain't for that.
See, here you go. There you go.
I'm just telling you. I'm not telling you what I do. I'm gonna tell you what they gonna do.
They gonna do right.
So go ahead. After you buy your TV, then you can go see my man.
Don't see me. Nah. To answer your question, how I got into credit was like you mentioned, I was in the nightlife for a while, and I ain't know
Long
nothing about,
time.
Yeah, long time now. I ain't know nothing about credit, honestly. Literally zero about credit. Only thing I really knew about finances was how to save money. I ain't know nothing about investing. I ain't know nothing about credit. None of that. So around like 2016, 2017, I had the money, I had the cash, and I wanted to buy a house.
Okay.
And I got slapped in the face. I got a rude awakening on being, kind of illiterate to, finances, credit. And, sitting down in front of them people, I ain't know nothing. They was like, oh, you need this score, you need that. And I'm like, I don't know what y'all talking about. And, somebody, they eventually broke it down to me and told me what I needed to do to qualify for the loan, for the mortgage or whatnot. So during that process, like, I always had an entrepreneur spirit. So, and I don't really like not knowing something I'm getting myself involved with.
Okay.
So, I just kind of self-educated myself from that point on. And then once I seen I could help myself, then naturally I want to help the people that's around me. And
Okay.
and from there, that's, going back to being an entrepreneur, that's when I was like, all right, I could probably make some money off of this. And, that's how I approached it. But then, once I started doing it and I started saying I was helping people, then that's when I was like, I really need to make this a business.
Okay.
And, got everything situated on paper, and here we are today.
But the thing I think what I'm kind of intrigued by is that you have a lot of people that come out when you have different things going on. Okay, hey, we could clear your credit up, $500. Send us, bless you, send us $500. We'll clean your credit up. We take all this stuff off. We'll send these letters off, and people pay the $500. And here we are 4 months later. You still got the same score. So
some of them people probably still doing some of the same things that got the score bad. We'll go ahead. I'll let my man here.
I'm just saying. We got to talk about that, because those people accountability. Like I say, hey, you got to own it.
Nah, that's true. That's true. So me personally, what I tell people, and I struggle with this at first because naturally we want to be able to get results fast.
Microwave
because that's
right
all
now.
you ever heard. You know what I'm saying? Even me going into it, that's all I ever heard when I'm looking at these YouTubes and following these gurus and this person, that person. Everybody selling that fix your credit in 30 days type stuff.
Yeah.
And those who aren't in it, they believe that. You know what I'm saying? And it's misleading. is definitely certainly misleading. So what I tell people that come to me is like, it's a process. Can it happen in 30 to 60 days? Yes, it's possible, but in most cases, it's not likely. You know what I'm saying? So I could make way more money if I just told people exactly what they want to hear. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna be full transparent and tell them the truth. You know what I'm saying? So it's not gonna happen overnight. Again, is it possible? Yes, but not likely. So don't look or don't come at me, 2-3 months down the line if you're not seeing the results that you think you should be seeing. Now, you will see some results as we going along, but don't think you can just go from a 500 to 800, in 2 months.
Now,
you know what I'm saying? It's a lot of steps in between that you got to do to get there.
do you get resistance when you present your prices, what you charge, what you expect for people to pay you? Do people like, oh man, I ain't paying that, because the man to my brother to your immediate left, we talk about this all the time, and it's like when you present certain things to people, you have services,
right?
And the quote Fat Joe, the price is the price. Yeah. It ain't gonna change.
Yesterday's price.
Yesterday's price is not today's price. Right. So that's what I'm saying. Do you get like, well, Q, look out for me, man. I'm your homeboy.
Sure,
me and you, I'm your partner. I'm your woody. I done came it. Just like Myra said, he told Diamond and Players Club, I spent a lot of money with you.
Spend a lot of money with you.
Do you get that? People look for that. That homeboy a woody discount.
Yeah, man, for sure. Now, honestly, when it comes to like my people, you know what I'm saying? I really just do it for them. You know
That's
what I'm
love.
saying? Because I'm talking about my people. You know what I'm saying? I really just do it because.
Hold on. Views and opinions expressed will never again represent those of GD Napsy or any of my associates. The show, the Greg Dawes Show. So go ahead on. Now he laughing, but he'll tell you he don't cuss me out about those who offer unique services like what you do.
Yeah,
that people don't appreciate the work that goes into.
I'm telling you,
mastering the craft. But go ahead.
No, you know what I'm saying, and I do that because
you care.
Right, I do care, and I want to see them win at the end of the day. Now, people that are more like associates or whatnot, I just had to come up with a price for those specific people. You know what I'm saying? So I tell them, look, I got a friends and family discount. This is what it is, and most of them don't really complain about it.
Okay,
yeah.
But now to answer your other question, now to regular people that come for the service. Yeah, I get pushback for pricing and stuff like that. But I figured out too. I played around with pricing a lot, when I first started. So what works for me now is I just have different packages. Okay. So if you can't find nothing, or if you complaining about package A, B, and C, then you just ain't trying to do nothing. Anyway.
You want something for nothing.
Yeah, you just want something for free anyway. You ain't really.
You
ain't really trying to really invest in yourself and better your situation. Cause
do you do webinars or do you do everything essentially all in house?
I have to get more active, in webinars and stuff like that. I'm naturally an introverted person, so like that's been kind of tough for me to really do. But I've done 2 of them to date.
Okay.
I went and got an accountability partner, right? So
okay, my
weaknesses, he makes sure that I'm doing more of like this type of stuff right here. That's why when D asked me to do it, I was like, yeah, I got to do it. You know what I'm saying? Because I need to get more acclimated with doing stuff like this.
And you can't be afraid to ask people,
right?
These are services that you provide. So it's not like, you're out here, hey, go fund me. You ain't trying to, hey, I need money for Beyonce. I'll give you some credit tips. Give me some money to a ticket.
Well, actually, I'm glad you said, do you barter?
Yeah, I barter services sometime. If it's something that makes sense for both parties, I will barter services for sure.
Yeah, I tried that before as well. Right. Well, mine is a little bit more unique, so to speak, and it's also situationally based. But I definitely understand where you're coming from. And candidly, in our community, we definitely need more credit repair because as we all get older, one thing that credit definitely can adversely affect is your life insurance rates.
Right.
Yeah. So as far as the credit repair goes, everybody want their credit repaired, but once they get it repaired, are you doing anything to help assist after they achieve that score, like education or anything like that?
Now what I try to do, because it's hard to do it with every single person, but I do give people, you know, like just because we done with the repair side of it, don't mean you can't, you know, contact me or stay in touch, you know, and things of that nature. So I do still offer, you know, advice or, you know, suggestions. Do this, do that, you know, to keep them to maintain that good credit standing. And again, back to, you know, media type stuff, internet stuff. I try to do more videos on, you know, how to do just a variety of things within that space, so they could always refer back to my Instagram, King_Finance Man. You know, to look at the videos and see what, you know, just go through and see what you're looking for.
Yeah.
I try to make sure I put
man.
King_Finance Man. Yep.
But I think a lot of times people don't. It takes you to go through something to realize the importance of credit, and I think that's the negative thing about it. You know,
I was that person.
Yeah, and it was I was in the same situation as you. So me as being an entrepreneur, I never had. I ain't gonna say I never had. I didn't have a W-2. You know what I'm saying? And I had no way to prove the income that I was making. So I had to find out about the taxes. Writing everything off because I don't want to pay all these taxes.
Right.
But now I want to buy a house. Now I look like I make $10,000.
Right.
So it's a lot, man. It's hard, man. But you got to educate yourself on that stuff, man, and know what you need to do and get what we want to get, like being able to purchase things that we want to purchase with credit. Make sure you got good credit, man. So if you don't have good credit, it's gonna kill you, man, in the long run. Everybody talking about discounts. You want a discount for this. You want a discount for this. Your interest rate is your discount.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So if you get a lower interest rate, that's your discount.
that's a good way to look at it. When you put it in perspective like that. That's a great way.
That's the absolute
That's
way
a
to
great
look
point.
at it. And that also applies to many veterans out here, because there's a lot of us who think that you're automatically guaranteed because you may have that VA.
Right.
No, that's the hardest loan to get.
Well, a loan is a loan because the qualification is the qualification. Is it beneficial? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because you don't have the same set of you don't have as high of a scrutiny. If something goes wrong along the lines, they can't just take your properties. A whole lot of the protections, but absolutely, we definitely need to to contact my man King_Finance Man. I just added you or followed you.
I do the same.
Cue the credit guru.
Waldo just gave me that name tonight too, and I'm gonna run with it.
You got to take the time with that. Yeah, run with that. Now, let me ask you this. I think we have another misconception that people that rent, that doesn't go on your credit. That doesn't help your credit. When you rent from private people, that doesn't help your credit, does it?
No. Speaking of renting, now, you know, we've been renting forever, right? And the only time it would appear on your credit report is if you defaulted.
Right.
But now there are programs out there where you can report, or you can have the ability to have your rent reported.
Right.
You know, there's different companies. I recommend BoomPay. It's called BoomPay. BOOMPAY. Then there's Rental Karma, and I think there's one more of them out there. But BoomPay definitely a report to all three bureaus. But not from a private owner. They will have to do their due diligence on
And send it forward.
You know, to make it report, and most of them not gonna do it. Most of them not gonna do it because that requires more work on their part.
Right.
So some may do it, in terms of private owners, but most of them not.
Yeah, the private owners, they in it to really
Make money.
Make money,
to make money. But even like the investment, they want to be. Most of them want to be hands off as possible anyway.
Right.
So trying to get them to take extra steps is going to be like pulling teeth.
That could make you a headache. We gotta get rid of them because they doing too much.
No, we'll get the next person in here.
We'll get the next person in here. They don't want nothing. They just want to pay the rent.
Right.
Keep it
but
going.
Yeah, with, you know, your traditional, you know, what is it?
Landlord.
Management companies.
Oh.
Yeah.
You know, of course, apartments and all that kind of stuff. You know, it is ways to have your rent reported now, and that helps. You know what I'm saying? That's more payment history, added to your credit report. That's a big plus. So definitely check out Boom Pay. Hit me up. I'll send you the link if you need it.
So what you mean by like payment history? Like what that, as far as your credit go, what that mean?
All right, what payment history actually is the largest component of your credit score, 35%.
That's what I was going to ask you. What's the biggest piece of your credit?
Your payment history is 35% of your overall credit score. So that's why one late payment, we probably done all been there, could drop you down there 100 points, if not more, just one.
You talking about in a 30-day?
Yeah, if you get a 30-day or more late. If you're 30 or more days late, yep. That could drop you up to 100 points or more. So because it's 35% of your score, you know what I'm saying? So payment history is key. So my advice to avoid late payments is put your bills on auto pay.
Yep.
I'd rather the late fee or whatever, or
The insufficient funds.
fee. I'd rather that than a late payment on my credit report in the day of the week.
Okay.
But yeah, payment history and then utilization. That's 30% of your score. So what I mean by utilization is, say you have a credit card the limit is $500, right? And you use all $500. Now you've maxed your card out.
Right.
So 2 dates I want y'all to remember in terms of credit cards. You got your due date.
Pay attention.
You got your statement date.
Okay.
Or your report date.
Okay.
Now, the due date, we all know that's when you got to make the payment. Forget the due date. That statement date or report date, that's the most important date for that particular credit card, because that's the day that they close out the cycle for that month.
Okay.
And that's what they're going to send to the credit bureau. So your due date could be 2 or 3 days after that. And you looking at your bill, you looking at your thing like, but I paid it. Why is it still showing a $500 balance? Because you paid it after that statement date. So call them, look at your statements and see when that statement date is.
Okay.
And that's when you want to pay down your credit card balances, because that's 30% of your score. So if that $500 balance get posted, your score gonna drop just as much as a late payment.
Right.
So statement date versus due date. Your due date, we all know that's when it needs to be paid. But your statement date is when that creditor reports it to the credit reporting agencies. So learn your due dates. I can't stress that enough. Get that balance paid down before that statement date. Excuse me.
Okay.
And ideally you want to be under 10%. You want to be under 10% the day that they report. Now, I know y'all probably been hearing 30% all over the internet. 30% is fine. That's the threshold for it not hurting you. But it won't help you either. Under 10% is where you want to be for you to optimize your potential for points.
Okay.
Okay.
So what we're gonna do before we get into interest, I want to definitely get into what cards to avoid. As far as, say, if you're trying to keep your credit, because I know they have some cards that have very outrageous interest rates. And I think that's a lot of people get crippled on that. Like I think about how AMPS got made out. I saw Michael Clayton spoke about that about 3 years ago. How AMPS got made out with just doing payday loans.
Yeah, predatory.
And they were whooping people. So
yeah.
I want to get into that when we come back. I just saw him. I'm sure they probably are.
Yeah,
they still in business. I know they ain't doing. I know they doing more than except giving out money orders.
Any payday, any payday advance or all them little places that we see mainly in the hoods, in the low income impoverished areas. They just, like you said,
they're predatory lenders, right?
Interest rates be ridiculous, and it's just really us going in there, or low income people, but
yeah,
they setting themselves up for failure.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's before we're gonna take this quick break. Gonna be about a couple minutes. I know we do. Yeah, I forgot to say every show we dedicate to my man Will D. No longer with us, man. He was pulling for the Chiefs. He a Bucks fan, but he was pulling for the Chiefs Just so everybody know that. And also get down with his apparel, Cigar Life, www.cigarlyfe.com. Roughly, everybody know what you got going on. Let them know you got receipts. Do not hesitate to tell these folks that, man.
Okay, Dave, what's going on, everybody? I am Greg Doss, the infamous one around the 13th, and I plan to be for as long as I keep breathing air. But you can go. I'm GD Naps. You can go to gregdoss.com. Check out my website. What I do is help people navigate through the difficulties of the court system without giving you legal advice. I do not give legal advice. But what I do is share with you my experiences. And right now, I have more than a couple of cases now. I have 2 cases in the federal court. We're in the discovery phase. You can go to Pacer and look me up under my government name of Chagret Doss, but 22 CV 129 and 22 CV 144. And thanks to our distinguished producer, I'm actually moving more toward my at the 13th AJQ, which is a jurisdiction in question. So I have my new Twitter handle, jurisdiction in question, at the 13th AJQ. Again, we have receipts, and if you want to check us out, make sure you go to my website, gregdoss.com, hit my YouTube link, and I'm going to start sharing some more content.
Okay. We do not own the right to this music. Torres, give us some. All right, we back at it. Finna get into the second segment of Chop Shop. Yours truly, Easy D's. I got my man, a.k.a. Rough, kicking it last but not least all day. City's finest stand-up.
Why you whispering, bro? What you
I'm into the mic, man.
I was wondering the same thing. Like,
is this better, guys?
Had ear cleaning.
Is this better, guys? Okay.
Yeah, man.
Mute their mics, man. I'll just talk to you by myself, man. We'll just do that. That's how we'll handle it.
We'll come across about as loud as you are.
Okay. Hey, so real quick, Q, I got to ask you this because we cut up on here, but social media and credit. I don't think that's a good mix because you see people doing stuff, hanging out, kicking it, partying, and other people see, well, how they get to do that? I want to do that too. So let me go get this payday loan, cash advance.
If you getting a payday loan to hang out, man, kill yourself.
I'm trying to tell
you. But that's the world we in.
That's what you're doing anyway.
That's the world we in, though.
Really
like
what
you
you're doing
sit back and think, that's the world we in, though, bro.
Nah, you're right, man. A lot of these people, they see these 15 to 60-second highlights is what I call them. It's just like watching SportsCenter. You know what I'm saying? It's a 48-minute game, 60-minute football game. But what SportsCenter showing?
2 to 3 minutes, about 8-9 plays.
The good stuff.
They're only showing you the highlights.
Right.
They don't show you the lowlights. You know what I'm saying? They don't show
that's a good point.
The grind of the whole game.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They don't show you the scheme. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, this coach called this play and that play to set up a play for the highlight you probably seen.
Yeah.
Right.
They don't see that, and that's how social media is when it comes to showing your lifestyle and this, that, and the third. Now, some people, they got it to do it, cool. But other people, they see that, and then they like, man, I want to go rent me a yacht. I want to go do this, do that. So they, like you said, they go get a payday loan or, get a credit card just to go blow it.
Right.
And now you done set yourself up for failure for, when you really need it. You know what I'm saying? When you really need that, now you done mess up your credit for trying to stunt on IG or social media
For no reason.
for no reason. Just sit down
And nobody.
because nobody don't care. Once that's over and done with, they on to the next one.
Yeah.
That's what my dad always instilled in me, that your credit card is for emergency,
Right.
not just to go do something. Just to say you're doing something. That's a credit card. That's for emergency,
Yep.
and that's how
I
you should use
I
it.
don't think a credit card for emergency though. You got you got a debit card.
You got a debit card, yes.
That should be for emergencies.
There you go.
Debit card for emergency.
No, for real. Waldo bring up a good point. Kill your debit cards, cause they don't do you no good, and it's harder to get your money back if you were to buy something, and you ain't get what you paid for. You know what I'm saying? Credit cards protect you, more so than debit cards.
I'm learning something.
Much,
Okay.
yeah,
get-
much easier to dispute a
Exactly.
credit card transaction than a debit card. And the return
Debit card
is
got a
almost
PIN number
immediate.
too.
Right, and then on top of that, you actually get rewarded for you spending money on your credit cards. Your debit card is just coming directly out of your bank account. You don't get nothing for it.
It's in your debit card. So when you use your debit card, you got to use the money, right?
Yeah, the money got to be there.
It's the same thing with the credit card. Whatever you spending on your debit card, just put it on your credit card,
Right.
and you got the money.
Yeah, and just
And then
You
just
just have
pay it
to
off.
use your credit card. So you just say you got 3 or 4 credit cards. Now you got one for every day. Like your everyday gas, your whatever you do every day.
Okay.
Or more so, every day. Once that hit, you pay it. You just take that same debit card. Now you pull your debit card out and pay for that purchase you just made on your credit card.
Yeah, he's not saying use double money. He's just saying sit your money that you're going to use for
The money you already using.
Yeah, money you already got to spend anyway.
Right.
You might as
Okay.
well get rewarded for it.
Put that Netflix account.
That
Put that on the-
T-Mobile.
put
Put it
that
on
on-
the credit card.
That you got T-Mobile and they can cover it for you.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But, long story short, debit does nothing for you. You know what I'm saying? If you had a ability to get a credit card or credit cards, get your credit cards and put your everyday bills on your credit cards, and then use your debit card to pay the credit card.
Absolutely.
Now you get rewarded for that, whether it's cash
Absolutely.
back, whether it's points, whether it's travel or whatnot. Therefore, now you look up, damn, I got this many points or I got this much cash back. Now you could go on that trip, or you can go, you know what I'm saying? Or if it's, you might want to use that money for gas or something. Now you just made you some money off of money you got to spend anyway.
Yeah. You seen a dude in I think he was in like CVS or something. He swiped his American
Oh yeah,
Express.
I posted that too. Man,
That's probably
got
why I
over-
seen it. He
man,
had
man
45
got
million points.
Points, and that's like
In American Express.
$66,000. Got over $266,000
In
off
points.
of points.
He
So-
said he don't use them.
So he ain't never really looked at it. He was like, damn, I got that many points. And then you do the math, now the man got over $266,000 to spend however he choose to.
Just
So
from
credit-
using his card every day.
Yep, just for using his card every day, paying it, using it, using it. You know what I'm saying? So that's the advantage of having credit. You know what I'm saying? Versus using debit. So to all y'all out there, use your credit cards if you have them, but treat it like a debit card.
Yeah, debit card ain't gonna give you nothing but an overdraft fee. That's the only
Yep.
thing they gonna give you.
That's all they good for.
I'm telling you, I never looked at it like that.
Yep.
I learned something today, so I mean, I definitely
You
appreciate
ain't got
that
your
too.
notepad out either, man. Where your notepad?
Not processing, man. I heard he just said, don't use your
Okay.
debit card. I went to school during the day, man. I ain't no criminal. I can read, bro.
I don't understand the hostility over there on that
No, I'm
side.
just saying, man. Y'all been
mad.
cutting
That
up all
hostility
day,
on the
man.
right over there, JT.
I'm good,
a
man.
lot of heat coming off this couch, yo.
Wow.
Yeah, so but back to what you were talking about earlier, Q, in regards to like with the debit cards. What I know a lot of people do. You've been told to get prepaid credit cards or secure. What they call them, secure.
Secured, okay.
Okay, let's talk about that. How does that help your credit?
Okay, with secured cards are mainly for those with challenged credit, right? So say somebody they don't really have credit, or they
Okay.
have little to no credit.
Okay.
So it's hard for them to get an unsecured card because they haven't really established no credit yet. So that's
Okay.
where the secure card or the secure loan come in at, and they are useful if you have to go through that. So, I'll just use Navy Federal for example because they graduate your secure card. What I mean by that is After a certain amount of time, they'll refund you your money back that you started on the secure card with, and they'll graduate you to an unsecured card, like a regular. Now it's just a regular credit card. Their money versus your money. But you get a secure card. You put anywhere from most minimums like 200, so anywhere from 200 to whatever you want to put on it. And then you just create a payment history. You know what I'm saying? You've established credit now. So now you have a secure credit card, and you just start making your payments, and over time, you know, you've developed payment history, which will help your score.
And you'll be able to get another credit card,
Right?
An unsecured card.
So the more you grow your credit, you know, the better your cards will, you know, the better the cards you can get going forward as you are proving your credit worthiness.
So-
and Navy is one of the better and more established and reputable institutions for
Definitely.
building credit, business loans, and what have you.
Yeah.
Navy.
And another thing I wanted to ask, as far as the cards go,
Cards,
Are there-
or you say cards?
cards, the credit cards,
Okay.
is there like an ideal range where you want them to get like a certain card? Like, say I want a American Express card. What range should I be in? Or if I want to,
Score wise,
yeah,
I would suggest 700 plus for any card. Not saying that's the threshold for every credit card, but just to be on the safe side, you know, you want your profile to be as strong as possible, and you want your score to be as, you know, high as possible.
yeah,
Before you just go applying, you know what I'm saying? Now, I think when I got my first American Express, I only had like a 640 or something like that. But so you don't have to be in the 700s to get it, but just to be safe. Therefore, when you go apply, now your chances just are much better,
higher,
much
yeah.
higher to get approved versus being denied. So I would definitely say like 680 or better for most cards. Some cards they want you to be up there, you know, 740s.
40,
You know,
720.
some of them, but that's very few elite type cars. But majority of them, I would say 680 or better. You should be in good shape with a solid profile. Now, speaking of the profile, let me explain what I mean by that. So, your credit score is largely made up of revolving credit, which is credit cards or lines of credit, stuff you can use, pay it back, and you get the money.
Yeah.
You can use the money again. So you want 3 to 5 revolving types of credit, revolving credit. So if you're starting out, you may have to go get 3 secured cards from different banks if you can't get approved for regular unsecured cards. And then you want what's called installment credit. Installment credit is like your loans, you know, auto loans, mortgages, personal loans, stuff that starts here and then you pay it down every month. That's what we call installment credit. So those two, revolving credit and installment credit, is really what make up your score. Now, it's some smaller pieces of the pie, new credit, mixture of credit, this, that, and the third, but that you'll get that as you attain credit.
Yeah.
So you want 3 to 5 revolving accounts. You want like at least 1 to 2 installment accounts. So if you need to go get a secured loan, you could do that too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And Navy is another bank. It's called a pledge loan at Navy. But they're really good with helping people build their credit. Navy is one of the best credit unions to get, especially if you need to build and establish credit, because they have great secure credit products. But 3 to 5 revolving accounts, I'll say 1 to 2, probably 2 to 3 installment accounts. And you of course, no negative items and all that kind of stuff on your report, and you'll be right there around the 700 range anyway.
Okay.
Now, I wanted to, because although I asked a question, but you want to explain to the people what the consequences of denial could be?
All right, so, and I just had a client of mine apply crazy, because the score went up,
he lost
everything
his
cool.
mind,
Now
huh?
I got to prove of this. I got to prove of this. I was like, all right, slow down. That's cool, but slow down. You know what I'm saying? Because that's applying for too much credit in a short amount of time the bank's gonna frown upon that, especially
You
if
look
you're
like a
going for credit
panhandler.
cards.
You look like you
Yeah, you
panhandler.
look like you're desperate.
Like you
You know, so you
panhandler.
don't put yourself
You
in the
standing
bank.
outside the gas station right now.
Right.
Hey, I get $1.
No, for real, bro.
I get
for real.
$1.
Because that's exactly what you gotta sometimes put yourself in the mind of the bank. Put
Right.
yourself in their shoes. So if Waldo see me asking you for money, asking him for money, asking D for money, he gonna like,
You ask everybody for
now I
money.
ask him, he gonna like, then you just asked.
What's really going on?
You know what's really going on? You all right? You know what I'm saying? That's how banks look at us. Even if you got an 800 credit score, but you apply for 10 different cards in a
Short period of time. And
they're
that's-
gonna deny you.
Right. If you apply for a lot of credit when it's not your habit, because your profile also is a history, right?
Right. Yep. Right. So, apply or to answer his question, denials. Like if you're getting denied more times than not, you either need to fix your credit or you need to stop. If you have a good profile, you need to stop applying for so much credit. So it's gonna be one of the two if you're getting denied. Either you don't have the necessary profile, or you just applying for too much credit in a short window of time.
Now, will denials affect your credit score?
It will, because you'll get the inquiry. So the inquiry is worth about 2 to 5 points.
And that's a hard
That's a
inquiry
hard
too.
The hard
yeah.
inquiry, yeah.
And what he mean by hard inquiry is, well, I'll explain a soft inquiry first. A soft inquiry or a soft pull is just when they take if they don't ask you
Look.
for your social, it's a soft pull.
A little
That's the
peekaboo.
easiest way, yeah.
A little peekaboo.
A little peekaboo. Let me see what you got
Little
going
snippet.
on.
Yeah.
But if they want your social, 9 times out of 10 it's gonna be a hard pull. That's how you gotta look at it. If they ask for your social, it's gonna be a hard inquiry. It's gonna go on your credit report. 9 times out of 10, if they don't ask you for your social, it ain't. It's just what we call a soft pull. But yeah, inquiry is 2 to 5 points. So sometimes it's necessary. Of course, you know we need the credit, and it's fine. But we're gonna let that age. We're gonna let that garden. You know, garden is another word we use. You know, when we're applying for stuff, you apply for 2 or 3 cars. All right, boom. We're gonna let that sit for 3 to 6 months, and then we'll go again for another round of funding.
Right, understood.
Okay. Real quick, Lisa want to say thank you for the T-Mobile tip on Netflix. So she definitely
without a
getting
doubt.
on that.
And since you brought it up again, also not that they're sponsoring our show, although they should. T-Mobile also gives veterans half off on their bill. I pay half.
Phone service?
That's
Oh,
why
you
I have-
definitely-
That's why I have the lines I have.
Yeah, you went in there. Get over with you then.
half.
Now, let me ask you this, Q. This is something that I'm always perplexed by. Credit limit increase. Why is it that if you have a credit card and you pay on time, you pay monthly, pay with that, you pay over, shouldn't they just automatically just up your limit?
Yeah. Well, let me explain that. It's of course you want to pay on time, you know, and do all that.
Okay.
But what they really want to see is for it to be automatic. What they really want to see is you using pretty much that limit. Say you got a $5,000 card,
Okay.
and every month you're using, you know, just say 3 to 5, just say 5,000.
Okay.
You're using pretty much all of it, but you paying it back every month
Okay.
on time down to 0.
Okay.
You do that for 3, 4, 5 months, they gonna automatically increase that limit. But they want to see you actually using, you know, the max, and then show the ability to pay it back down to 0. You do that for a couple months straight, I guarantee you you're gonna get that automatic increase.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So good payment history, you actually using the card and paying it down to 0. You do that 3, 4, 5 months in a row, you're gonna get that increase. And that's something that can be infinite. Like it doesn't have to stop. If you're using that card like that and you paying it down every month to nothing, that can keep happening over and over and over again. Every 3 to 6 months, that could keep happening.
Okay.
Cool.
All right.
But the key is just using it, like basically maxing it out, using it. And I tell people, if you got money just sitting in the bank, right?
All right.
Like say you got that $5,000 card and you got $5,000 just sitting, just do it. It's still your money. You know what I'm saying? Like you.
That's true, but I think a lot of times people don't want to
You don't want
They don't want to make that kind of investment. You know, I give them $1,000. You know, but I don't want to give them the full 5. I still want stuff. I still got stuff I want to do. You know what I'm saying? So,
But you can do it.
I mean, you can, but I just think like the mindset.
Yeah,
it's the mindset, because I think sometimes when that money is in the bank.
Okay, let me do. I'm gonna give y'all a quick gem, real quick, a quick hack.
Give us some games.
So, like, say you got a homeboy, right, that owns a business, or a homegirl that owns a business.
Okay,
they have a merchant account. Now, this how you just play the game with them. Now you don't. Now, to your point, you don't lose your money now.
Okay,
of course, you got to pay to play.
Right.
So it's gonna be a little bit of interest loss on that.
Okay.
But say Waldo got a merchant,
and he does.
Perfect. Waldo got a merchant. I got $5,000 in the bank. I want to get this. I want to hurry up and get a credit limit increase on my American Express, whatever. So I'm gonna go to Waldo. Hey, whatever he's selling. Boom, I go pay for it. It hit Waldo account. What he do? Take it back out and give
it back to you.
Give me money back.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So now, boom, I take the money he just gave me. It's just just
recycling.
You're doing what some communities do with their money, which helps the community grow.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? But now you just playing a credit game.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That was a gem.
Do this. Why I gotta get that look?
No, I'm just saying. No, you spot on, but you spot on. But like, what you said was spot on. I was just like thinking, like, well, we don't have that mindset to do that though.
Hey, I need y'all to go on back on YouTube. Y'all gonna have to rewind this, man, and listen to this again.
Now, I want to ask you something, because it came up a couple of times, and I tell people, a lot of the guys that come to me come for assistance with child support. Now, have you ever done any removals of the child support delinquency?
Yep.
Now, I'm going to tell guys this. If you go to 61.1354 of the Florida statutes, it'll tell you, it'll give you what the standard is whenever they're going to make a report against your, they're going to make a report against your credit report, that you can challenge that. But I'm sure that in addition to challenging the child support arrears or the debt, that they can still come to you and have you move to remove that from their credit report as well.
Yeah, we've removed some child support from people's credit before, and but like I tell people with with anything that, because people think like people have this a misconception of credit too. Like people think just because it's off of your report that you don't still owe the debt.
Yeah, you still owe them people.
You still owe whoever it is.
If the debt is legitimate.
If it's legitimate, there you go. If it's legitimate.
Hold on, since I got this dude over here now, he's sitting next to Daryl. No, you. You can all go check out the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act. Read the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act. It's probably only 28 pages, I believe. FDCPA, absolutely. And you can gather a bunch of jewels. And you can actually, in the event that somebody improperly levies a transaction against your account, you can actually sue for that. You get more for the emotional stress. It's not necessarily what I do, but I'm familiar with it.
Nah, that definitely is true. You definitely can do that. But yeah, we've removed some child support from people's credit reports before. And but yeah, if you have legitimate debts, and just because we remove it, that doesn't mean you don't owe the debt no more. You still owe the debt.
It just ain't showing on your paperwork.
Our job is just to make it not. Our job is to show that it's not there anymore for other lenders to see you have a clean slate.
And you have to do some work to clean your credit up and to do some of these other things as well.
Right.
And I think something else too, tagging along what you were saying, the importance of credit. If you have children, add them, to your credit card.
Not the other way around.
Not the other way.
Get that cable out that baby name.
Really, I'm a product of that.
Oh man,
when I first learned about credit, like a little bit about credit, I'm like, I got credit cards. I wasn't even at this time. I'm probably like 19, 20 years old or something.
But you had a credit card 8 years ago.
Card 8 years ago, and this, like, man.
Yeah, but like you said, and it's bad but that's It's just, I just think, just in our community, we've been educated on credit. I know our generation had. I just think it's just applying the tools.
Right.
Is where we've fallen short, because you know better.
But I mean, it's a lot of the education too, because a lot of this stuff people just don't know.
Right. I
You know what I'm
understand.
saying?
Well, and in many instances, we talk about responsibility, accountability, and onus. Whose job is it to help you become informed with other aspects of life? We know how to get on and utilize social media, as you all brought us into the show with. But how difficult is it to take some control over your own life?
Yeah,
the
you're
life
right.
of those around
But you don't know what you don't know.
Absolutely.
So like even if you are one of these people that can go out and self-educate and learn all this stuff on your own, you don't know you need to know this. So it's kind of hard until like Q went through that process. He didn't know he needed to know that. But once he went through that process, he knew, oh, I need to know this. Now he's self-educated.
And was generous enough to bring it back to the community. Whether he brings it back to you, not like the Messiah, for free. They say salvation is the only thing that's free. He comes back, but that same book says a workman is worthy of his hire, right? Mm-hmm. So we should keep those things in perspective. So I appreciate it. And by the way, was 15 USC 1692, 1691, 15 United States Code.
Oh boy, he could read good, y'all. He read good.
Know his stuff.
And then real quick,
he's a local legal expert.
No, I don't know about legal
real quick.
I'm the product of a lot of abuse, so I just
Let me
decided to fight back.
before we go to our break. Q, do you have students? How do they gravitate to you? Is that a good client base for you? Because I was thinking that should be huge.
You saying like kids, like teenagers?
Well, you know,
stuff like
college students.
college
You're 19, 20 years old, get that prepaid card.
Really, probably wouldn't it coincide, Q or Daryl, with when you get your first job?
Yeah.
Because don't they give them cards now?
Well, at school you get cards when you get school.
No. When you get a job, they don't give them checks anymore, right? Don't they give them like a credit card?
I think it
Some
depends.
places,
It depends.
Depends on here you at. You
They
direct
do
deposit and do all
yeah.
that.
But that would be something I probably need to. I've been thinking about starting like like some sort of academy. It may not be called an academy, but just to illustrate what I'm trying to say. And,
The credit school,
like some type of school, some type of academy or whatever for a certain age bracket. For little to nothing really.
Yeah, if you put a little, because even with you and what you do, customer service and being able to speak,
it's a lot. It's a lot going on in Tampa as far as funding and stuff like that. So I definitely rap with you.
Yeah, I definitely want to. That was a goal of mine when I started, but I gotta get there. But that is definitely something I would want to do.
But you got kids today; they don't know how to balance. They don't know how to balance checkbooks.
And you hear so many of the excuses. I don't push so hard against the education system, because I know a teacher's job, and we talk about it off air a lot, Daryl. Our teachers didn't have to worry a whole lot about us in school. If we clown, they had a way of getting that fixed.
Put that call in immediately.
Yeah.
Somebody coming.
But y'all was still getting paddled at school.
No, you also got your behind beat at home.
No, the threat of calling your mom and daddy got you together. Just the threat.
Yeah.
Don't let me call your dad. That's it. Then I'm straight for the rest of the class.
Wasn't no abuse back when back in my day. You
just got beat. That was it.
You getting paddled at school. I got paddled at school. So paddling stopped when I was in elementary.
The easy part.
Yeah,
it's a consequence from home.
I know paddling stopped in elementary school, but it ain't stopped for me.
He want me to tell that Herbert Harris story again. He want me to tell that.
Tell that one when using there as a whatever teacher's pet. You know how Daryl was probably showing his teeth. But tell him that story, Daryl.
Yeah, I mean, you want me to run again, Waldo? Did we talk about a discipline or a paddling or whatever?
Yeah.
Okay. Herbert Harris, 4th grade. Let's go figure 1978. Herbert Harris, good athlete, played ball, cutting up one day in class. Miss Woolfolk said, "Now, Miss Woolfolk, Miss McKnight, I'm tired of this. Call the principal on you." Okay. Miss Richardson called her. So about 15 minutes later, now we live, neighborhood school, so everybody within no more to say 8 minutes to get to school.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like, you got to go across town Everybody right here the same area.
No trolleys, no
No,
tolls,
none of that. No, I mean a handful of stop signs. That's it. Maybe 2 red lights.
Right. She might
Okay.
have ran both of them.
So just so happened, I said, I got it. I said, boy, let me go ahead and see what's going on. So just so happened, Miss McKnight sent me to the office to go do something. So I'm in there with the secretary, Miss Sims, and we talking back and forth. Lady pull out the car. She put it right in front of the school. Now, that's old school. She ain't in the park. She ain't in the parking space. She right with a bus. She pull it right up.
She
Right
ready.
there.
Right there.
She came there
She in the
prepared.
first row.
Roll,
courtside.
look, roll, hair, like the hair, what you roll your hair, bad, all that.
A bonnet
Rollers.
back then.
No,
A
it wasn't
bonnet.
a bonnet. It was like the
No,
scroll.
it wasn't. Yeah,
Okay,
it wasn't.
so-
but I'm just they explained to them today.
Oh,
That's
right.
what it's compared today to a
Okay.
bonnet.
Herbert Harris, will you please report to the office? I said, Lord have mercy. I said, it's finna crank up right here. I know this. I already see how she looking. I already know how this finna go. So I'm waiting on her. So I'm taking my time to anything. Just let me just drop some or just, can't find something. But I got to see how this come. Herbert strolled in, just real nonchalant. Hey, Mom, what's going on? Don't hey, Mom, what's going on? What you call? You know why I'm up here? So Richard said, Miss Richardson, may the Lord be pleased with her. You want to use my office? Yes. Yes. So Richard already knew what was going on. Man, she took Herbert in there, man. She said a couple things, and Herbert said something. He just heard that. Pow! Pow! Oh! I went back to class and, man, I think Herbert Mama done killed it. Herbert done came back, man, like about
It's hard to be
15 minutes
cool.
later.
You don't got your behind whooped.
But I'm just saying,
Yeah.
but I use that example just to say our discipline
Oh, it's different.
kept us, it kept us straight.
The fear
The fear.
of immediate.
And that's why I try to tell people, like, negotiate. I never had that option to negotiate with my wife. I did what I was told.
Yeah, so I was in 2nd, 3rd grade, somewhere elementary school, man, and paddling stopped in the school. It wasn't no paddling. But my paddling ain't stopped. My grandma was the assistant principal, so
Yeah. So
I
you
still
already
got-
knew. So you already knew off real.
Yeah. I still got
Yeah,
paddled.
call
though.
Terry. If Terry do anything
I got
wrong.
whoopings. I don't know. What y'all
Yeah, that's what I'm
talking
saying.
about.
But I
It's-
think,
you can't say that now, man. It's not politically correct.
But just like Q was saying earlier, but like Q was saying earlier about the education or lack of education, I just think that we were in a time where everything was, if it wasn't available to you, you took the steps to learn it.
Right.
But nowadays, so much energy is put on social media, TikTok. We have so much irrelevant stuff that people follow instead of being about your business.
Yeah, but you can learn a lot on that stuff too, though.
Well, but here's
I mean, you can,
here's
but-
what's missing,
you can
though.
learn a lot from King _finance man. A lot of credit tips on Instagram.
Yeah, I mean,
TikTok.
I totally get that, but
you can learn a lot on
okay,
the social media.
but I'm saying, but in the world that we live in today, I'm gonna give you a perfect example. Q can say, you know what? Hey, I'm gonna give a free seminar. I'm gonna be set up at XYZ. Y'all come out between 1 and 3. I'm running shop. Okay. Glorilla could say she doing something, and you got to pay to go see her, but they going to see her.
yeah.
Nah, he right.
They ain't going to see Q, but Q giving you something free that's gonna benefit you. What Glorilla gonna give you?
Well, you'll be able to afford to go to Glorilla.
Right.
Won't matter. But you're gonna figure out how to go.
You gonna make a way. You got folks right now making a way to go see
You gonna
Beyonce.
make a way to see this.
A better parallel would be, all right, to your point from earlier is, oh, I don't have the money for that right now. But to your point, to go see Gorilla,
Or we gonna figure it
Yeah.
out.
you're going to figure out a way to get
You gonna make
that
a
money
way.
to go see Glorilla.
You gonna make a way. Whatever hook or crook, you gonna make a way to get there. You gonna pull that off.
Yeah.
I saw people right now posting tickets for the Beyonce concert, but they ain't posted the prices. They posted they going. You know, they got the Beyonce Renaissance, but ain't nobody gave no prices.
Well, it was interesting, Walter, that you said that, but you gave an eloquent speech at the school board meeting, and we live in a time where we have people that are convincing other people that an education is not important. Now, whether you get it through the corridors of academia or otherwise, it's almost senseless to say you don't need what the institutions of learning provide for you. And what made things different for us you know, and I'll give the caveat. You know, I have two that graduated from Berkeley and Jesuit, and which is not as great as University of Thomas Jefferson High School.
Please don't plug Jefferson this
but
week, man.
But ain't what they said at the school board.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, and what's interesting about
and he ain't say nothing then, did he?
Nah, he was,
no, yeah, I did. Oh,
You
yeah.
did?
Oh, what are you talking about? We have Hall of Famers. What are we talking about? But my point is this:
I wanted to get out alive.
The difference was what our parents put on us when we went to school. And don't forget, Jefferson then was definitely a community school,
Right.
and it made a difference because it would be difficult for you to get away with something. And although my reality is a little different, my parents were both military. Somebody there knew somebody there who knew somebody.
Yeah,
in the
neighborhood
community.
school. You can call anybody. Yeah, mama, Big Mama at home.
Somebody gonna come
She
around
home,
there.
so you call Big Mama. She'll get the word out.
And we
the
take the
neighborhood
importance
was
out
more
of
of a neighborhood. It
Right.
wasn't no,
just you're right.
just it was a neighborhood. Like it
Right.
wasn't no.
Almost all schools are transient now. It seems like you
Yeah.
you don't really have you may have a small nucleus of neighborhood kids, but you don't have a school.
Well, let me
I don't want to get into how I feel about this school choice thing.
Let me correct you on that. Let me correct you on that because in certain areas there are community schools.
Oh, but you know what those communities do? Waldo and I found out. Oh, you're not coming here,
Right.
And our kids ain't going over there.
Exactly, but what I'm saying, so we do have that. If you go out, you hit the Fishhawk area.
But it
They
goes
got
back,
it?
No, deals with Waldo. What do people say? Oh, my kids ain't. No, once you
Okay,
take
but I'm
the
saying,
money,
but that's
My
okay,
kids
sound
ain't going
terrible.
over
what
there.
they tell them to do with that $547,000? Give that to them.
Leave my kid here. Y'all can let them have that.
Let them have $547,000.
They ain't want it. But that's what I'm trying to say. They standing for their community. But we're gonna get back. We're gonna take our last.
They
We're
were
gonna take our
serious with
last
Waldo.
break before we
Very.
get out of here.
Very serious.
This particular segment is gonna be sponsored to you by. If you see what I'm rocking, Chop Shop, go get down with the brand. My wife Lisa got them shirts. 813-400-7015.
I got mine on.
Carlos Martin at the Auto Repair said he's a Chiefs fan. Today,
serious.
ironically,
No.
yeah, Chiefs fan. He was riding with the Eagles.
I saw Los on at
Friday.
the game.
Saw
at the
Friday
game.
night, yeah.
Oh, hey,
He was
shout
an
out to JoJo, and we hope you get better.
Yeah, Roscoe. We
Roscoe.
pulling
Yeah,
for you,
man,
baby. Get
Roscoe.
better, man.
Absolutely, and happened to have the opportunity to see who I think is the greatest wide receiver in Jefferson history.
They come give the Jefferson plug. Go check them out,
I'm
man.
gonna do that.
813-443-7130. We'll be back in a couple of minutes. Give us something, Torres.
No, the reason that.
All right, we're back at it for our last segment with Q the credit guru, been out here kicking it with us today, and we were talking earlier about the importance of with the credit. As far as just we talked about the increases going on to your credit card, then we dabble a little bit into community as far as just say how, for example, certain areas credit is like with the predatory loans, how they only have those available. What can be done in the community to try to enlighten some to where say, you know what, hey, let me try something different, because Amscott's on every corner. Yeah. They everywhere. And you like you were just talking about, they trapping more than money orders. So I understand, sometimes you fall short and things may, come to you, but why invest in getting a payday loan for say $700 and you got to pay maybe $2,000 if you don't pay it back on time?
Right. Yeah, it's definitely it is predatory. You know what I'm saying? And I wish death to all of them, to be real, because I don't know if I can say that on YouTube.
You said, go ahead.
My
Death
bad.
to the establishment.
Death to the
Death to the establishment. Okay, yeah, you said that.
Because it's setting people up for failure. You know what I'm saying?
Now, one way one thing that stopped that, right, is when y'all lost control of the house, because Our Lady, Miss Warren, and even Barty Frank, because I've used the CFPB before.
Right.
Yeah, and there used to be the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. There used to be entities in place to come against these predatory lenders.
Yeah,
I was saying I didn't think voting was important, so here we go. But go ahead.
You're right. You're right.
Go ahead.
Because that played a part in the rent increase too.
He said it.
It used to be a cap.
Yeah, absolutely.
Biden, he removed that cap. That's
Used to
why
be
everybody
attempt. It should have been one time. What he said it was called rent controls. In certain areas, you do have rent controls. It's just not in Florida where rent controls are popular. But you could all move for referendum to put in rent controls, which would essentially limit an increase to X% per year above rent. Right. And that's actually a state controlled issue.
Gotcha. Yeah, and I really thought that was in place.
It would be the president, the governor.
Okay, so I knew I wasn't tripping, because I knew it was like you only could raise up.
Yeah, because that's why you notice like it'll go up a little bit. Those places who did that.
Yeah.
Now it's just that's
$300, $400.
That's a state issue though, not a federal issue.
Yeah.
State, not federal.
But
did you have any issues with the state?
Yeah, at Ron DeSantis. Yeah.
But no,
we're gonna put him in WrestleMania.
Right.
Rough against
all I know is I don't think that the real Donald Trump would allow some of the things that Mr. DeSantis would. And not that we want him to be the governor, but I don't think much of him either. But the reality is, I actually love Florida, and Florida is not my birth home. But I have an issue when we have people who play with the chronology of existence. Some call it history. I call it the chronology of existence. Whatever it is, if we want to debate the truthfulness of whatever is presented, that's one issue. But let's not erase it.
Yeah, we had some.
Hey, you see that, right?
That boy, that good, ain't it? Hey, that boy good. That boy good, ain't it? That boy, that good, ain't it?
But no, I did answer your question. Until we could do something from a political standpoint, but we can.
Okay.
But in terms of us not having to go use, them, the payday.
You can say them. You good.
No, I'm just saying we gotta educate ourselves on finances and credit. So if we have the knowledge and the education on credit, and finances, we won't put ourselves in a position to have to go keep them in business. And
just like you spoke about the importance of rent, I don't mean to cut you off, but we had Ice Antonio Thomas on here last year when we were doing the show, and she said if you can afford to pay rent, you can afford to do a mortgage. It's just a matter of being disciplined.
Right. My mortgage, I was in a 2-bedroom, 2-bath. When I got my mortgage, it's a 3-2 with a pool, and it was less than my rent.
Yep.
But like I say, but the fear, and then like we speak about, community within the community. So your crew, your friends, the people that you associate with. I'm just being honest, and people.
No, I want those something.
And
I want
those
something that Mr. Big Mouth right there, and you when y'all friends, and keep going.
But it's about what they have. So if all your friends are the apartments, that's comfort. some people don't have the mindset. Let me, man, I got to do something better. It always take that first person to make that leap. But when you do, and everybody try to jump up, boy, I'm gonna get me a house. Y'all want me a house too. I want a house. What you about to say, bro?
No. Before I get to my civic moment, because I'm not gonna let this thing go with Mr. Clemente. But you know, one thing that the two of you have in common, beyond the fact that y'all give me that crazy look.
What's that?
You're both married, and married people already have a commitment. Thus, the idea of ownership is different because the marriage itself signifies a business. It's a business entity, and because you're married, the idea of home makes sense. People who are single tend not to think about the long term of home investing and the things that would matter. Married people say our finances are internal. Single people, my finances are mine. I may be a little bit more reckless, a little bit more frugal, but you know that goes back to community building. We had more marriages in the community.
But I bought mine before I got married.
Okay, well that's fine. But you also came from what? An established background. You're military. People don't know that looking at you, you know. But
it's different now too.
I'm tired of you trying, my boy.
I think it's different now too.
But you was a businessman. Hold on. But he also was a businessman when you were single.
Yeah. No, you're right.
But don't nod your head, right?
But it's mine.
No, you're right.
Oh, okay, there we go.
It is mindset too. Like I think today in the modern West, like everybody don't aspire to be homeowners either.
Yeah, my wife was single when she got her first house. I sit back and think about it. Yeah, Lisa was single when she got her first house.
Because
really?
You got to think about it.
She's also a woman. Right?
When you buy your first
she's a
house,
woman too. Okay,
it's not necessarily. It's not necessarily an asset.
I'm gonna choke you, dolls. I'm gonna choke you.
You buy your first properties to invest, and then later on down the road, you use that money to buy your house that you're gonna reside in. Then it's a different situation.
Yeah.
So it's just all it's all relative or subjective to the individual. Like I've owned a house. I don't own a house right now, but I don't really care. Like it's not a big deal to me to own a house anymore because I've done that.
But you've done it, but
it's like.
Right, you know what it's like.
But but I'll be more interested in owning investment properties versus
like duplexes or something like that. Okay, and let that money work for you.
But I still want people to have the mindset of ownership, whether it's yours to live in or
from a community perspective.
Yeah, from a community.
Understood. I own properties until people like Greg Holder and Rex Barbers.
He's so angry, man. I mean, when the album coming out, man?
Huh? He's not angry, man. He's just expressing himself, man.
No, he angry.
I didn't make it up. Hey,
he angry. He angry.
If I tell you, in the words of the great Cooter Patterson, God bless the dead. If I tell you a duck can pull a truck,
you better hook him up.
Hook him up.
You better hook him up. You better, but he ain't saying like that. But you better hook him up.
Yeah, I was gonna
you better hook him up.
Hey, I had to remember I'm on the family.
The late great Cooter P. But before we get out of here, because we're gonna do our little segment where we clown and cut up. Once again, let everybody know how they can get in contact with you, Q. Give everybody what they need. Give them the food.
Right. Pretty much all my social media platforms: King KING_finance man, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Pretty much the three main ones I'm on.
OnlyFans.
I need to pull a Bandman Kevo and get an OnlyFans. But no, Instagram, TikTok. I'm trying to build my YouTube up, so y'all subscribe to my YouTube channel.
Any shout outs you want to give?
Yeah, King_finance.
I'll be on there later on.
Any shout outs you want to give before we get out of here?
I want to shout y'all. I appreciate
love, man. Like I said, we're glad to get you on here, man.
I want to do this like once a month or something like that too.
We can get you. We'll bring you back on here, man, because it was so funny. When I told Walt, I said, man, Q will be good for the show.
Yeah, man.
He's like, yeah, that'll be good. So then I tried to call. I'm be keep it real, Q. I'm hating on you too. I called.
I know.
I said, man, Q ain't answer the phone, man. I said, you tripping, dog.
Listen, you can ask anybody. I'm the worst when it comes to answering the phone.
I say, man, I called you. I texted real nice. What's good?
It's your phone, all right? You ain't got to answer your phone.
I'm trying to get in contact with you, man. I said, man, Q tripping, man. I said, Q done changed, man. I see Q at the barbershop, man. Big call me, man. Call me.
I'm telling you, ask anybody, but my mama on down.
No, it's all little. What I said, but I do when I talk to you, like, man, D, I'm with that. I'm like, okay, cool.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I was high with you for a concert, man. I said, man, success done changed, Q, man. He done changed, dog. I said, Q on YouTube doing stuff. I said, yeah, man, he don't even holler at the big homie no more, man.
But nah, man, I appreciate you guys giving me the opportunity to come on y'all platform and
Definitely, man. Like I said, that's what it's about, man. Letting people, giving people that game, that food that they need. Because a lot of people don't process and then they don't want to receive it. And I think that's the frustration.
right.
Yeah,
But you have an outlet where somebody can help you, but it never fails. Like I think about Ruff and the service that he gives, and we go back and forth all the time. And I tell him, I say, man, stop making yourself feel bad about charging people for a service.
Right.
That's
hard. I had to, like, I ain't gonna lie.
Bruh.
Like, going from the nightlife to this, I played, it was something that I struggled with at first because I was like, man, I should. But then once I saw how much work go into it, though, at the same time, I was like, nah, I can't.
And I want to speak on something too, man. Ron DeSantis, with Roberto Clemente, you spoke about that a little bit.
He did.
And that's crazy as far as say removing his book like he never existed. And
Well, when it's not that he did it, when it's the people under him that are following his lead, and I really wouldn't have this much against, because your political position is your political position. I couldn't care. I could care less. But it aggravates me when I know what I'm looking at, and you're trying to convince me. My days to say, and I clean this. Don't try to pee on me, make me believe it's raining.
Yeah.
But dawg, so 70 million people voted for Trump. So I mean, it's a laid out there, bro. I mean that ain't gonna change.
Well, and that's fine. I don't care that the 70 million voted for him or that more voted for Joe Biden, and actually before Trump. We forget he didn't win the first popular vote either. But anyway, that's electoral college issue, and was it the Taft and Hilden decision, which kind of ushered in what happened to us at the end of the first Reconstruction. But we'll get into history later. The reality of it is, I know what we're looking at. And if anybody's working this hard to keep portions of history out, they're doing their dangest to make sure you repeat it.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think go ahead, David.
It's crazy. It's crazy to me because this is like a athlete. Like, he's a professional athlete.
It was in sports.
The greatest for some, the greatest Latin American baseball player of all time.
Of all time.
And like, I'm trying to figure out why. What's wrong with that history? Like, why? Like, what's the issue with him being in the history book? Like, that's what I'm not understanding. The whole situation is, why is this book being removed? Like, it makes no sense. It's not.
Well, that's just one of many.
Yeah.
And my kid's mom, she's said, Bump said, I'm gonna start buying all these books. And now all of a sudden, I'm getting these Amazons and these other book requests because we don't want to lose it. And I'm fortunate that my remaining daughter in school, one goes to private school. And her teacher said, no, I'm going to buy these books so that we can read on history because of the diversity within the Montessori.
Right.
But I don't care what it is. You can listen. I can learn about everything from the Vikings weren't the first, but anything going back to the 25,000 years of documented history forward. The facts, if we want to dispute the facts, let's go somewhere where we can find a reference point to dispute the facts. But don't get rid of the facts and then tell me and want me to say, well, we're not going to talk about this as if it didn't happen.
Right.
Laura will now be 55 in less than a month. And I'll bring it again.
March 5.
I went to elementary school at Beauvoir Elementary, which is on the plantation grounds of Jefferson Davis, the president of the Confederacy, with no idea of the historical relevance. And it took somebody else to include you to say, can you imagine what Mr. Burney and Mr. Howard, two black men who were my elementary teachers, saw?
Yeah.
Because you got to think, I'm there from 74 to 81.
Right.
But they're my teachers, and they're from Mississippi. What do you think they saw in Biloxi?
In the 50s. And that's why I try to tell people, like, you just, our generation, our parents, especially all of our grandparents endured racism.
Yeah.
And probably some parents, in some ways. That's why it's funny to see people come together. Like, and I don't mean to jump. So it was good to see the thing on DeMar Hamlin this weekend.
Yeah, it's good
to see people, to see him out back, because we didn't think he would be here.
Right.
Yeah, they say he gonna play again.
Well, he said he wants to play. I mean, I'm kind of against that, but I mean, we can agree to disagree. But I do want to ask Q something real quick. LeBron James this past weekend broke the record for most points.
That's his favorite player.
Okay, this is gonna be good then. So I want to ask you respectfully. Where do you put LeBron? Where do you put LeBron? Is LeBron
That's his
the
favorite
GOAT?
player.
Is LeBron the GOAT?
That's his favorite player. Man.
No.
LeBron ain't the GOAT? Okay.
Okay, I want to make sure I correct
The
this
Lakers?
too. Anybody? Well, hold on.
Not the GOAT.
Hold on.
Okay. Who's your GOAT?
MJ is my GOAT.
Okay, that's fair.
That's fine.
I ain't mad about that.
He better than go, but it was Hayes and Tilden for the
And
historical
Kobe
part.
is a hair underneath Jordan.
Okay, so he in the same on the same street, but just a smaller house.
Yep.
Okay.
You know what's interesting about that?
Those
And
my
I looked it up because I thought about you today, Daryl, which I didn't really want to. But what was, which we talk about not just his scoring. You say who makes him the greatest player. Where is Michael in comparison to LeBron with rebounds, assists, steals?
Okay, and that's fine. But what you're looking at, somebody that's played 20 years at a high level. Mike played 12. So if you're looking at rebounds and
You mean at a
assists,
high level 12? You said
he played 9 with the Bulls. Okay, and then he played, and not even really he played 2 with the
well,
Wizards.
because he was hurt in the beginning. You're right.
He was hurt. So I mean, but with that being said, and to me,
LeBron wasn't my bad.
but
His
to me,
fault.
what we should look at, that's even like now Patrick Mahomes is in conversation for being right under Brady. And
At
I don't
what?
think he's done enough. He's
At
only
what?
been in the league 5 years. I'm just saying quarterback.
We're in a right now society though, Daryl.
But that's not okay. But that's not. But let's back up. So if Patrick Mahomes never plays another down of football again, never play, retires,
Hall of Fame.
That's a given. But he's the second best quarterback of all time.
Never.
That's all I'm saying. So
That's the narrative they're throwing out there now.
They're
He's
crazy.
second
So
or
what?
third.
So what warrants LeBron to be
I don't
4
believe
and 6, 4 and 6 in the finals? Been swept. How many times he been swept?
Twice.
Twice.
You know.
Yeah, speak on that. Yeah. How many times he been 4-1? How many times he been 4-1?
Twice.
Twice. So he got 4.
No. 4-1 once.
No, he never went 4-3. So back up. He never went 4-3.
No, you said 4-1
So he been 4 once.
once. 4-1 once.
So he's been 4-2 the other 3 times.
They got beat. They got
Dallas-
swept by,
Dallas beat
swept by
them.
San Antonio.
Right, got
They got
swept.
Dallas beat them 4-2.
Dallas beat them 4-2.
4-2.
San Antonio beat them 4-1 on their get back.
Right.
Right.
14.
That was 4-1.
And then the Warriors beat them 4-1.
Yeah.
And KD,
So he got 4-1
And
twice.
KD swept him.
4-1 twice.
then he
then.
got swept by the next year.
the next year.
So he's been swept.
But let's say, hold on. He never went to the finals with a team better than the team in the finals with him, except for the time with Miami. And I don't even know if they were better. They were better
Okay,
than Dallas.
but look at the
They
Hall
weren't
of
better
Fame.
than-
But look at the Hall of Fame that Michael Jordan put away on his path
he also
compared to
played with the
LeBron.
second best player in basketball at the time.
Man, this ain't going.
See, they put let me to
Boy,
that
this
they
is
put something
terrible.
up the other day, right? They said to the teammates' point, Michael Jordan has played. Well, I'll start with LeBron. LeBron has played with on a team with that sent multiple players to the All-Star game.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Jordan never had multiple All-Stars that
Just
went
him and
that
Pippen.
particular year.
Him and Pippen, right? Not
Right, him.
Kukoc there went with him and Pippen.
No,
Neither
Kukoc
did
ain't
Rodman.
never
went.
And neither did
All-Star.
Rodman.
Rodman never all star with him either.
Rodman was on the tail end when he was with the Bulls.
But he's a Hall of Famer, right?
Yeah, he's all
Okay, that's what I thought.
for sure.
Okay.
But that's what I'm saying. That, like when people say his teams weren't that good, like it's I don't.
But you try to. But and then the thing is that
You talking about the Miami team? Though.
when they polled the top 75.
Post original Cleveland, all his teams had.
3 All-Stars.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he just
Him,
he's
Kyrie,
just
Kevin Love.
the third
Yeah.
guy when they got
Mo Williams went
Mo Williams went.
1 year.
But my thing is like, and then I did bump that whole he made people better too because everybody numbers
Come down.
come down when they play with LeBron. So I
Okay.
don't understand how he making them.
And then they polled the 75
in terms of the All-Star guys.
75 All-Star guys, or I guess I forgot the amount, but they said 81% pick Michael Jordan as the best player of all time.
I'm sure.
Okay, so
He's relevant 30 years later too.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. So LeBron is gonna have to win 3 more chips.
That ain't gonna happen.
Yeah,
So then he ain't
He
gonna
might not make the playoffs again.
right. Which some Jordan never had a struggle with. I mean, they first couple years, but when they started rolling in '87, they went to the playoffs every year. LeBron didn't go 2 years after winning the chip in LA.
I mean, ever since he got to the West, minus the
Bubble.
The bubble.
bubble chip, man.
But nobody talks about that though.
And we always said,
Yeah.
I mean, let's be honest. When he was doing his run in the East, you know his biggest competition was.
The Celtics.
Well, they was on their way out, but I'm just saying, like from a in terms of superstars, right? You talking about DeMar DeRozan and like a young Paul George.
Indiana.
Indiana was tough though.
Yeah, Danny Granger.
Team wise, they had a good team.
They was tough
The
though.
star players.
They had, but they was look at Paul George was just coming in the league pretty much then.
And when Dwight beat him, he didn't even want to shake hands after that. Nobody
See
talks
what I'm
about that
saying?
either.
Like he didn't. His run in the East. Who was really gonna beat them?
Yeah. Great.
He won
Great,
really, like-
great topic, Q.
He didn't really have.
We're not
he didn't-
doing-
And then he get to the West.
That boy good.
Now
man.
he get because they always say, "Oh, look
Boy
at the
good.
teams he took to the finals."
That boy good.
Right?
He took the 4 of us to the finals.
No, but I'm saying he get to. My point is he get to the West. He has a comparable team to the teams he was taking to the finals in the East. What happened that first year?
Uh-oh.
They don't make the playoffs.
Uh-oh.
You mean because of the names or because of how good they were at the time?
I'm just saying comparable.
Name
I
recognition don't make you good.
No, that's what I'm saying.
I think Dog Boy erased your
saying,
stuff.
I'm alluding to the point where they saying he took trash to the finals.
Uh-oh.
I'm
No, he
alluding
did
to-
in Cleveland now.
But that's what I'm saying. He had a team in the West that first year that was probably comparable to those teams in the East.
Actually, that's the only year that Street Clothes was actually ever healthy.
Here you go now. Okay.
No,
this
he
guy
won
here,
there
man.
yet.
That was in the bubble.
This guy
No,
here
healthy
Street
in the
tripping.
Clothes.
bubble.
No, you're right, but Street Clothes that was his first year.
This guy here
The
tripping.
bubble.
No, I'm saying, yeah, with Anthony Davis. But my
Right.
point is he couldn't take lesser talent to the finals. He couldn't even get to the playoffs in the West with the lesser talent.
Yeah,
So my point
saying
is
that
when
the
he
West
was in
is
the
more
East,
competitive.
it was more competitive.
Oh,
It
well,
was
no,
harder.
I'll agree with that. Yeah.
So that's why
The
when
West
they
is
were
a better
saying he was
conference.
taking trash
It's
in
a
the
better
East,
conference now.
he wasn't playing nobody. Like the Toronto Raptors, like was the
I
baby
can't-
dinosaurs was his
I
biggest
can't say it.
competition.
But
can't say
they
that.
won a chip.
They
though.
Man, you ain't gonna. Man, you're not gonna. You're not gonna beat.
Oh, that was-
Dawson's going. That's he's
Kawhi-
stuck on
but
LeBron.
they got
So
Kawhi Leonard
No,
at that point.
I think that Kobe. I think is the one we would talk about. But I don't want to diminish or undervalue what LeBron has done, not just as a basketball player, but his contribution and the fact that
Yeah, now
his
off the
story-
court, I would say he's
his,
the-
his
Oh, yeah,
story
he
is
definitely-
amazing.
what he's
That
done.
was off the court, I will give him that.
and but we finna
I
go.
definitely respect that. Off the
We're gonna wrap this up and go and get out of here. Also, man, shout out Rondé Barber, man, Hall of Fame.
Deserving.
Shout out to both of the
Deserving.
Bucks in the Hall of
Congrats.
Fame.
Who's the other Buck in the Hall of Fame?
Darrell Reeves.
Reeves ain't going to Buck, man. Stop that, man. Reeves played 1 year down here,
It
got a
don't
bunch of
matter.
money.
That's where he made the most money at.
We count him as a
Was
buck.
he ever a Buccaneer?
Yes.
Played for a year. Okay.
That's what I thought. So you're
So
right.
before we get out of here, man, recognize our
$6.
last 2 sponsors, man, that really keep on the grocery tip. Down there in downtown Carver City, Mike Trigg, E-Trigg, Conan's 1510 North Hubert, 813-070-0404.
Little chow.
Best barbecue known to man in the city. I argue with anybody about that. And if you want something good, garlic palm, lemon pepper, honey barbecue wings, we got Wingstop, got 4
Louisiana
locations.
rub.
Louisiana Rub, forgot about that.
Louisiana rub.
Out here in the Bay Area, man, we got 4 locations. One out there by, we got 2 by UQ. One on Highway 54, 813-705-9464. Yeah, that's my boy Marcus.
That's our boy Marcus. Yeah.
1219, then we got one
He the sponsor on the
right there in
show.
Lutz.
Okay, yeah.
1219, Bruce B. Downs at Wesley Chapel, 813-536-0222. 9305 North 56, 813-373-5174. My girl Daisy over there doing her thing.
Yeah, they love us over there.
Yeah, we might post of the night. I don't know yet. Dogs, whatever you want to do, I'm with it. And where it all started,
I'm
right there
going
on
home
27. I know you going.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, cool. And where it all started, 2776, doing file 813-903-9464.
But because I'm going home tonight, I'll give out my meal to.
Let's do that tomorrow, because we ain't do it today. I ain't follow up with you. That's my fault. We'll do it tonight when I get
I'll
home.
do that part to you.
Always,
in a
bro.
minute.
God, dog, but you be
Okay.
tripping, bro.
You know what, man? Hey, Waldo, hey, just fade Waldo out, Torres. Just put it dark, cut a light off on his side.
Do the Ron DeSantis to Waldo. Just wipe
cut him
out.
off.
Just wipe out his.
Just wipe him out. Yeah, just wipe him out, man, for real. Just put an X over his face. So, like I say,
Look at him and say you
oh
didn't
yeah,
have
also shout to Ryan. Ryan, Marcus' daughter, she picked the game. She said 35-28.
Yeah.
She said Chiefs 35-28, but they did win 38-35. So,
hey, and let me say this too. I am so wrong. You know, I hit 6 or 7, and it was the under that I missed. Let me tell you something. We always say defense travels, good pitching stops good hitting. I begin to wonder how good them boys at Philadelphia was because I don't recall Patrick Mahomes getting dirty.
nah, they definitely didn't touch him.
It ain't getting no sense.
They
He got all his yards were plus.
when they hit him, he ran for about 15 yards.
The
then they hit
reason we
him
thought they would win didn't show
because of the defense.
They
Yeah,
didn't show up
they
at
got
all.
our coach Andy Reid called a hell of a game, man, and hopefully the enemy may catch on with the coach.
Colorado.
He not gonna get a job because of what you just said. You
Hopefully
gave all the
Colorado.
credit to Andy Reid.
No,
the enemy ain't gonna never get.
See Andy Reid last night. Every time he got in front of the camera, he made sure he brought up Eric Bieniemy.
Okay,
Every
good
single-
stuff.
Yeah,
Good
Andy
stuff.
Reid, that
know
type
he-
of dude. He that
Right.
type of dude. But I'm saying Big D. I'm saying Big
He
D.
ain't
Not
gonna
giving him the
get
credit that he
Torres
deserves.
cut
think-
X Waldo out, man. So
It ain't Andy Reid. He's a good
go out
guy.
to the Boulder and help Dion out.
well, look, we got Kevin Jacobs coming here next week, man. We're gonna go from credit to home ownership.
Okay.
So we're trying to keep that going. So Kevin Jacobs from KW Realty will be in here with us next week. AMG is probably flying back from Arizona. He probably hanging out with Rick Ross at the Super Bowl this week. The Kodak Black. So dread all the dreads.
He was with Lil Durk.
He was Lil Durk, yeah.
Yeah.
You know how they kick it then.
Lil Durk and Future.
Yeah, probably KD kicking it out there in Phoenix. So, for my man Q, the credit guru, AMG, a.k.a. Ruff, Dave City, Walt Disney, also my man Torres in the back. Valentine's Day is tomorrow, guys. We say that about it, so we just go move accordingly.
You
We ain't
just
gonna say
did.
well, I got to acknowledge it. It is tomorrow. So, as I always say before we get out of here, anybody want to be an artist,
got
don't
mine
want to see the
today.
executive producer, all the videos, all the record, dancing, come to Death Row. We'll see y'all next We'll see y'all next Monday, man.
Monday, man. It's Monday,
Guys,
man.
Next Monday, man. Keep God first. Love your family when you see us. Holler.
And
Get us out of here,
dates right,
Torres.
man.